Hi, and welcome to Terial Arts with Terry. I'm Terry McFeely, creator of Terial Magic, the spray-on fabric stabilizer that makes sewing, fabric, quilting, anything you do easier. So this quilt that I've been showing you in the photographs is a curved log cabin quilt that I learned to make in a class last October. My husband and I bought a new house. Well, it's not a house, it's a little cabin in the mountains, and it's a place we've been going to for years. We love it. There's lakes, there's rivers, and when I took the class, I wanted a quilt for that bedroom, but I had no idea until I was in the classroom that you can customize and make these wonderful curved log cabin blocks into symbolic shapes. Of like mountains, rivers, the sun, the sky. So anyway, that's what this video is about. It's about how I made a symbolic quilt using curved log cabin blocks. So first, you're going to think, how do I get started? It's a king-size quilt. You have all these blocks and all these opportunities to use colors to shape the different areas that you want to design as your symbolic parts of the quilt. So what I did first in Illustrator is I created this symbolic curved log cabin quilt template. And this is a free download. Since this is a YouTube video, there's not too many places to add links, but if you go down to the description, right under this block that you're looking at, under the description, you're going to have 4 free downloads, and this is one of them. It's called the template. So once I had the template, I took out some color markers, and I started coloring. Of course, this is very rough. But I have to admit, I had a lot of sleepless nights because I kept creating things in my head after playing with the pins and just seeing what you can do with the shapes of these blocks. So as you can see, there's the sun, the Sierra Buttes, the Pacific Crest Trail, a couple of rivers, lakes, and the Sierra Starry Nights. You'll see these on the quilt. And then once I created my design with the colors or at least the areas of color that I wanted to use, I went ahead and created a grayscale also. And this is another download. Again, it'll be in the YouTube description. You can pull these up and run them. So you can either make the same quilt. Of course, you can use the different areas of lakes and rivers in your area, or they don't have to be lakes and rivers. They could be challenges or feats or things that you've accomplished in your life. It's just your way of making a symbolic gesture on your quilt of something you've accomplished or where you've been. So once you have your design and you have your room, you know your colors, I like to find an inspiration fabric. I actually did a video on making the blocks for this quilt and using the inspiration fabric. It's going to be shown at the very end of this video. There's going to be some videos that'll come up, and it's one of those, and it's about making quilt blocks with Terial Magic. So this is my inspiration fabric. I didn't use it in my quilt, but every color that I used on the quilt is in this fabric, and I did not vary because I really love the way these colors go together, and it's just such a peaceful look, and that's what I wanted to accomplish with my quilt. I like to lightly spritz my fabric with Terial Magic before I piece. It keeps the edges a little firmer, it keeps the fabric a little firmer so that they actually glide together and sew much easier. It's much easier to keep that 1/4 inch seam when everything's lined up and laying perfectly. So to treat it, again, I just go spritz, spritz, spritz on the front. You'll be wanting to do this in a bag or in a sink. And then I flip it over and I probably spritz it 3 more times. Then I kind of like to scrunch it a little bit. I fold it up. Some people like to put it in a bag or just leave it in the bag for a few minutes, but then I press it dry. And it won't be stiff like when we saturate the fabric when we're making flowers. This is just a light spritz that just makes your fabric so much more manageable when you're quilting and piecing. These curved log cabin blocks are made of 2 different size strips of fabric. For my quilt, I used the 1.5 inch strips and a 2.5 inch strip. I also call out light blocks and dark blocks. I call it a light block when the 2.5 inch strips are done with the lighter fabrics. I call it a dark block when the 2.5 inch strips are out of the darker fabrics. For the block piecing, I am also doing 2 downloadable pages, one for the light, one for the dark blocks. They're again downloadable in the section below what you're watching right now under the description, and it's going to show you the sizes of each of the strips and the construction so that you can put the pieces together to create a curved log cabin block. Here you can see the different arrangements of the light and dark blocks to get the curves, which I love. They give a softness to the geometric that is very pleasing. I use 10 blocks for the width and 8 blocks for the length, which is roughly 110 inches by 88 inches, plus of course then the binding. And for the call outs, for the symbolic areas that I designed into the quilt, I hand embroidered just little notes. I used color on color. This one here says Sierra Starlight. I don't know if you can see that, but I have a close-up I will be showing you. As you can see, I used blue thread on blue. I didn't want the call-outs to stand out and take away from the quilt, but I wanted anybody that was in the know to be able to find them and realize what they mean as far as the lakes and the rivers that we all enjoy in Sierra City. So I hope this inspires you to make your own symbolic quilt. And of course, you can make other designs. As you can see on the back of my quilt, I did a large heart. There's a lot of different designs you can do with the curved log cabin. And I will be making more of these and doing other videos. It's become something I actually just really love doing because there's so many design options in making quilts. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, just leave it in the comments below or go to Terial Art's Facebook page and you can post pictures or questions, whatever you need. And if you would, please join this YouTube channel, which is called Terial Art, so you don't miss any of our future postings, and give me a thumbs up if you wouldn't mind. I really enjoy hearing from you. So again, thanks for watching and enjoy your craft.